One of the stories that we're doing about the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte has to do with immigration and this bus full of undocumented immigrants who drove from the Southwest all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina to draw attention to the policies on undocumented immigrants during Obama's administration. And their strategy was really interesting because these are people who live constantly in the fear of being deported. And so normally being arrested would be really serious business and would almost certainly involve immigration and customs enforcement, and possible deportation. These activists get into the middle of a street corner during the Democratic National Convention, right in the thick of things. They were right outside the CNN grill, and they block the traffic on a street corner and start talking about their stories and relatives of theirs getting arrested and getting deported. And all of them were arrested, but no one was deported because, we don't really know, but evidently someone said, we don't want this kind of press, just take those guys and release them. And so they were all released. It's a pretty interesting story and a very clever sort of way of taking advantage of the news cycle. And at the same time, Benita Veliz was at the Democratic National Convention talking about immigration and saying that the DREAM Act has protected these people, and so the Undocumented Bus draws attention to the way that story isn't really complete and those rights remain only partially restored. I guess one of the things that's really moving about it is that they couldn't know for sure, so they were really willing to put their freedom on the line and risk being separated from their families in order to express how frustrating it is to be an immigrant at this moment. And the Democratic National Convention, to be honest with you, it's constantly making me tear up to watch it because it plays upon these civil rights era dramatic feelings. And they've also, I think they legitimately do have a far more interesting and exciting lineup of speakers. Sandra Fluke was on there. She's not the typical speaker at one of these conventions. Benita Veliz is another example. Elizabeth Warren was up there, and she said, corporations are not people, and everyone was cheering. And she delivered these very moving lines. People die, and they love, and they get sick, and corporations will never do that. And while you're watching it, you feel like, oh my God, the Democrats have got my back. Everything, I just need to support this party and things are going to be better. And it's, I keep having to pinch myself when I watch it, because on the one hand, it's great that Elizabeth Warren gets up there and says that. On the other hand, what kind of a situation are we living in where it's radical to say that, people love and live and die, and that corporations are not people? So it partly has to do with the whole broader context. And then, I just want to say that despite all of the civil rights kind of flag waving that you're seeing at the Democratic National Convention, the Occupy movement was the social movement of Barack Obama, and the administration was not a friend to Occupy. There was never any statement of solidarity or support. There was never an attempt to for the federal government or for the president to use his incredible clout to say, I think the police should ease up on these protesters. Instead there was a kind of complicity. It's kind of like they'll offer you an image, a centralized, image of civil rights from the government. And if you actually begin to get together and challenge what we want, then and challenge what we're doing, you'll be suppressed. And so that's the thing I keep reminding myself of as I watch these very beautiful speeches at the Democratic National Convention.